What's good, everybody? It's Mike Reed, and welcome to My Life Ministries, where leadership, influence, faith, and evolvement are the principles that we look to live by every single day of our life. And by us living those principles, it helps us to help youth to become motivated young leaders that implement faith every day in their lives as well. Today, I just want to get on here and I just really want to let somebody know that prayers do get answered. Somebody right now is going through a phase in their life to where they feel like, I've been on my knees praying every single day. I've been praying for years, for a breakthrough. I've been praying for years for, a financial freedom. I've been praying for years for this business to open. I've been praying for years for my child to get saved, or my husband or my wife to get saved, or I've been praying for years for whatever, you've been praying for things that you've been needing from God, and you still have failed to see it come to pass. So in those moments when you fail to see that come to pass, you begin to get frustrated, or you begin to get angry, or you begin to point the finger or blame God. It can even bring bitterness, when you see other people get blessed and you're not getting blessed, and you feel like, Lord, I've been waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting. And you begin to question and ask yourself, like, what is it that I'm doing to the point to where, why can I receive, that blessing as well, and then you begin to question God, to where it's like, God, what's going on? This is bothering me, I'm tired, and then you begin to get in the point to get in a position to where you're just like, and I'm just done, and then you begin to lose faith. You begin to walk different, you begin to move different, your character begins to change up, your thought process, your mind, a lot of things begin to happen to the point to where you just begin to feel, like you're just out of it, and you feel like, your mindset is trickling down. You feel like your mindset, is gone, and you feel like you just have no purpose. And I'm here to let you know that if you ever heard of the saying, it's delayed but not denied, that is so true, because sometimes when God delays a prayer, from being answered, that means that there's so much that God is doing behind the scenes that you do not see. That means that he's preparing something for you that will connect to you in a way that's going to benefit you at the right time. When God delays something, that means that either he's removing something from it, or something that you may prayed about that's not going to fit, with his plan, or that's not going to fit with what you want. So God has to go in there and he has to tweak a few things. He has to connect a few things differently, so that he can prepare it to where when you are able to receive it, that is something that connects with you, and is something that you're able to enjoy, is something that you're able to deal with, and is something that you're able to handle, for a long period of time. And at the same time, it's something that you do not forget, who God is, when God blesses you with it. But a lot of times, we get so caught up, waiting in our own time frame, to where we're like, God, I feel like this is something that should have been happened. I feel like this is something that, I feel like I'm doing okay. I feel like I'm living my life the way that you want me to live. I feel like I'm doing the things that you want me to do. And you may be giving it your all to live a saved life, or to seek God, or to serve God. And believe me, God sees that and God honors that. But you have to get out of the mindset of thinking that just because you prayed something today, meaning that but just because you pray something today, that does not mean that it's going to happen tomorrow. That does not mean that it's going to happen a year from now. And if you can't get that out of your mind, if you can't get that type of thought process away from you, you're gonna have a very long journey, because God does not work like that. There are some things that God blesses you with. There are some things that God gives you, right away. But at the same time, there's some things that take longer in his factory that he's preparing for you, and you have to be okay with waiting on that. So don't get discouraged in well doing. Don't get discouraged when things are not falling in line the way that they're supposed to. Don't get discouraged when you see other people reaping the benefit of what they've been praying for, or you see other people who may not be living the way that you're living, and they seem like they are extremely blessed. You have to be patient. You have to take your time, but you have to understand God's time, so that when the blessing comes, times. And when the prayer is answered to the point to where you can see it, that you'll be able to handle it. Because when you throw your prayers at God and when you ask God for things, you better believe that God has already answered it, because God said that he will give you the desires of your heart. So if God is giving you the desires of your heart, that means that he's giving you the desires that he has for you. So if you're walking and you're in tune with God, then God is going to give you exactly what it is that you need. But you have to remember, are you willing to accept what God has for you, which is what you need, or are you going to continue to stick to the things that you want? And if God decides to change up some things, you get frustrated and you get mad and upset. So you have to learn how to understand that he answers your prayer. He has already answered your prayer. He knows what you need. He knows what you want, and everything is under control. So don't look at it to the point to where you're like, man, I'm just so defeated and I'm losing, because you're not losing. Just trust and believe in God. Keep waiting on God and be patient, because your prayer is already answered. I promise you that your prayer is already answered. So let God bring it to you in time, because it's just delayed and it is not denied. So God is with you, and I just wanted to get on here and encourage somebody and let them know that God, he already has it under control. So you guys be blessed. You guys have a blessed and wonderful day, and I will talk to you soon.